Hi, everyone. We are
LaChiMoLaLa.
LaChiMoLaLa. And we are back for another Flashback Friday, BTS style. And we have made it all the way to Wings. Kind of.
Yes.
Sort of.
Almost there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the song is from Wings. Technically, it's still a comeback trailer, but it's the full song pretty much, right?
Yeah. I mean.
So I just say it's the first music video from Wings.
Yeah. But it's categorized as a comeback trailer, but whatever.
Weird.
It's iconic.
I feel like that's because it's just him. Anytime it's a solo artist, they always say it's a comeback trailer.
Yeah.
Thoughts. Deep thoughts about BTS song labeling.
Yeah.
That's how you know your army.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, I really love this video. We are both huge J-Hope fans. I, of course, if you've seen any of our videos, know that I am a rap line girl. So, anytime any of these guys has anything, I usually watch it a million times. And this is definitely an early favorite of mine. So I'm excited to watch this again. Yay.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites too because if you've been following us and if you haven't, that's fine. I fancy dancers. So, Hobie was actually my first bias, I feel like. Well, not my first, but RM, then J-Hope, and then it starts.
Yes, because as we've discussed, RM is the gateway to all things BTS.
Yes.
RM is or should be everyone's original bias.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
You branch out after that, but love you, RM.
Yeah.
Best.
Yeah. So, and then when I saw this music video, gosh, I don't know when, like a while back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like who is this guy? Oh my gosh, like what is he doing right now? Oh my gosh! And then 100 times later, watching, I was like, still the same. Like, oh.
We always talk about it, but BTS is kind of amazing because they have so many good dancers. There's really not a bad dancer in the group. There's just people who are extremely, extremely talented and people who are extremely talented.
Yeah.
Like, I would kill to be Jin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would kill to be RM or Sugar, who both kick butt, by the way. They all kick butt, including Jin. So, to me, I think it's very crazy how many great dancers they have, but at the cream of that crop is obviously J-Hope and Jimin.
Yeah.
So getting to see, we didn't get to see this in real time, but imagine seeing this for the first time, like just J-Hope on his own. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And especially we discussed this before in prior videos, especially the Wings comeback trailers, which hopefully you guys watched. And we talk about how this is the first album where they actually have solo tracks. So I can't imagine watching this real time for the very first time.
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be solo tracks.
Yeah, I would freak out.
I can imagine freaking out so bad.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh.
Yeah. Ugh. I already freaked out when I saw this, like who knows when, I'm like, oh my gosh. And
imagine if you didn't know there was like 4 other videos like this.
Yeah.
So this would be mind-blowing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Yeah, let's do this. Here we go. This is Boy Meets Evil. BTS. Mostly J-Hope.
And like you said, 74 million views?
74, yeah, over 74.
Amazing for a comeback trailer.
Was not specifically this or that, but consisted of having shaken hands with the devil. The devil held me in his clutches. The enemy was behind me.
Yeah, RM's voice.
So good. I love that J-Hope got to do both his songs because he did Mama in the other trailer.
Yep.
지기 어린 사랑의 이른 꿈을 꾸 내 야망의 도끼 매어 칼을 갈았지 뭐 참을 수 없는 내 욕심에 칼을 무뎌져 알고 있었어 이 사랑은 악마의 또 다른 이름 손을 잡지 마 외쳤지만 쳐버렸지 내 양심을
He's so good at those sharp movements.
Right?
생각 못했지 그 욕심이 지옥을 부르는 나팔이 터지는 숨이 차오르고 뒤틀린 현실에 눈 감는 매일 밤 울리는 비극에 오르고 But 잊어요 벗게 그걸 잊는 게 당초에 보기가 안 돼요 그 소리 너무 달콤했기에
Oh, so cool.
Oh my gosh. Look at his leg go all the way up. What?
It's crazy. Oh, I love that transition. It's so cool.
Amazing. Oh.
Amazing facials as always.
Yes.
Ugh.
So good.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Wow. I mean, I felt like when I first discovered this comeback trailer, first off, I'm like, this is a comeback trailer? What? You know? And then,
Right? It doesn't even rate being a music video. Wow.
yeah. And then second, like I said, like I watched this like 100 times, you know, like it's so much fun watching like J-Hope dance, you know,
Yeah.
and he's like you said in the video, like he has very sharp movements, you know, and it looks so effortless, you know.
Yeah. And I mean,
Oh,
he can do the smooth, but I feel like he leaves that to Jimin because nobody body rolls like Jimin.
mhm.
So I feel like it's very cool because of the sharpness of his movements too. You get a lot of emotion from that. Just like how he kind of spits his rap, it almost seems like his dancing is a little bit like broken,
Yeah.
but it's an intentional thing, you know.
Mhm.
It's funny, like it's so synonymous with J-Hope that he's just this phenomenal dancer that sometimes you almost you don't forget, but like you take it for granted a little bit. And
Yeah.
then every now and then you step back and you're like, no man, that's amazing. Most people can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and this is one of those moments when you're just like, oh, J-Hope's so good.
Yeah. And it's like when you watch this, you're like, ah, yeah,
Mm.
he's definitely one of the lead dancers, you know.
Yeah.
It's like when you're getting like when I was getting to know BTS, you know, like I didn't understand like okay, people are talking about like main vocals and lead dancer. I'm like, what? You know, like, huh?
Yeah. I was like,
Um,
there's lots of categories? What?
yeah, yeah.
What's
And
a center?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And this is like me getting back into K-pop, you know. And so I was like, I don't remember people categorizing people like that back in the day, but I don't know, maybe they did. But when I heard that, I was like, huh, okay. And so when I was getting to know BTS, I was like, okay. When I saw this, I was like, all right, he's definitely one of the lead dancers for sure. And I already had known already with Jimin, you know, because like
Mm.
I mean, like you said, body roll, you know, so
Because it's
one,
Jimin. You just had already heard.
no one doesn't like him, you
No one
know.
doesn't like him. No
Yeah,
one. He is the gold standard.
yeah, exactly.
Literally, time and time again, we hear people who are like, "Oh, I just want, I want to dance like Jimin." Well,
Yeah,
I mean, not, I mean, as close as possible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And with J-Hope, like it's just like he's just the way that he flows, like I mean, like oh my gosh,
His dance is very emotional.
yeah,
Jimin's is too in a different way, but I feel like J-Hope is good at. It's funny when he dances, his face and everything, he's like a different person.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He slips on this like hard persona and it just really works.
Yeah. And like, oh my gosh, like he did his leg pretty much touched his head that one
He
part.
like
I'm like,
clapped over his head with his hand on
yeah.
his leg or
I was
something.
like,
I was like, what's going on?
I was like, oh my gosh. Every single time when I watch this, I'm like so mesmerized
And it's
by
not just because I'm short, which I
yeah.
am very short. So it would be impossible for me to do that no matter what.
Yeah.
But also, I am not that flexible.
Yeah. He's super flexible. Oh my
It's amazing.
gosh.
And you do feel like this is probably, you know, something he choreographed himself. This is, again, this album really feels like when we get to see them taking a lot of control. I think they were getting some control the whole time, but this one, it really feels like you're like, oh, okay, this is how they want it. This is what they want it to look like.
Yeah.
This is probably the dance that he choreographed.
Yeah, I feel like this era, like you begin to see more of, I mean, we've heard more, I mean, of course, throughout like the different eras, we hear their voice, but I felt like this one was kind of like a turning point, you know, for everything for them, you know, like, I don't know, that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that.
So,
yeah, I do feel like you're right. Like they are one unit, they are something, but they are also all these individual strands that make up why that unit's so good. It's interesting how the more you love something, the more sometimes you want to break it down.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like figure out like how, why is this so good? But it just, you know, sometimes it just is.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
I also wanted to say, oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say real quick, I loved his white shirt and the way the cuffs were. It was like kind of formal, but you know, it alluded to the asylum, you know, references throughout the verse and stuff. So I thought it was a really cool nod, but still fashion, not straitjacket.
Yeah. Yeah. And the song, love the song, you know, it's so good. Like, just even just the words when he says sweet, you know, like, so good, you know, like everything about the song, the music is fantastic. It went so well.
It is interesting because it's like you could call this era boy meets evil, boy meets the world. You know what I mean? Like the era before is boy meets girl. And then this is like he looks outside of his little bubble and he sees bad things are afoot. But then the next album, it's suddenly much more hopeful.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. All of the eras could be boy something, you know, like I love how we really get to follow their journey and kind of how you grow up.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
And my have they grown.
Yes. And I love that we're allowed to be on their journey in real time. It's like really like to share that much of yourself is really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, this is so good. So good.
I know. I'm so excited. There's so much good stuff to come.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, next Friday. Oh, I have a lot to say next Friday. Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Is that still your number one?
It's still my number one, and I have a lot to say about it.
I'm going to want all those stories.
Yeah.
Check back next week.
Yeah, check back next week because you do not want to miss this one. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining us. If you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And we are LaChiMoLaLa. And we will see you guys next week for Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Ooh. 안녕.